All right, it is 6:30 and we like to start on time, so we're going to get this meeting going. Welcome everybody to the Murray City Council meeting for Tuesday, January 8th. If you have cell phones, please put them on silent. Councilmember Dave Ponsky is here. He asked to be excused for a moment, and he'll join us in just a minute. Otherwise, the rest of the council and staff are present. I have asked Chief Craig Burnett to conduct the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Chief, if you would.
Everybody, please rise. Repeat the Pledge of Allegiance with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, next item on the agenda is we've got two minutes to approve from the council meeting for December 4th and December 11th. If the council's in agreement, I would take a motion to approve both of those. Are there any changes or corrections? If not, I'll accept a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve council meeting December 4th and December 11th.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? I keep threatening to one of these days say no on voting on the minutes, but we'll see. All right. I'd like to take a moment. We've done this a couple of times. Provo City lost a police officer, as you know, on the nose. We care a great deal about our public safety officers. We've got quite a few of them here tonight because we have one who's we have a firefighter who's an employee of the month, and we have a new police officer being sworn in. I'd just like to take a minute, do a moment of silence for our Provo police officer and all of the public safety people we've lost this year. Well, not this year, but in the last year. That's been far too many. So if you just take a minute. Thank you. And again, for all of our firefighters and officers in attendance, we appreciate everything you do for us in keeping us safe. We'll continue. Next item is we have a special recognition. Captain Stephen Olson from the Murray City Fire Department is our Employee of the Month. Brett Hales will start off, and we'll have Chief John Harris join him.
Thanks, Jim. Come on up, Stephen. How are you? Okay. Come on up here. You're.
I don't want to upstage.
No, you need to upstage him. This is the time to upstage him. So he gets to upstage you guys. You get to do it today. So we're excited. This is a program that we've had over the last, gosh, you know, we used to say 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's been 6 years that we started an Employee of the Month, and it has been a wonderful, wonderful program to recognize our employees. They are amazing, dedicated. Doesn't matter what department you're in, they're dedicated and people, and we love and appreciate our employees for all they do. And we're lucky to have the opportunity to recognize Stephen Olson, who's part of our fire department, Captain, correct? Yes. Captain Olson. And so anyway, we'll let John Harris do most of the introduction, but we as a council want to show our appreciation to you and your family, and again, grateful for all that you've done for our city. So we'll present you with this certificate. Your name will go back on that. Yeah, and I dropped that. I'll drop that out. We put it in backwards. I'll just give that to you. That's a $50 gift card. And I don't know if that goes to you or another family member, but oh, it goes to him. I don't think so. And then that You're not read that too, right? You're not. You have your own. Okay. Anyway, just a big appreciation for all that our employees do, especially recognizing Captain Olson today. So thank you.
So I want to take a moment to talk a little bit about Steve and how he came to be with us. Steve is someone, first off, who does not enjoy the limelight. This is really tough for him, so I'm going to make him suffer up here for a few minutes. Well, first off, Steve grew up in Santaquin. Does anyone know what Santaquin's famous for? Me neither. Yeah, there's really nothing. But maybe at this point forward, now it'll be the place where Steve Olson grew up. So that's what it'd be famous for. You know, one interesting thing to ask people is how they decide to get into the firefighting field. And so Steve's story is kind of interesting, I think. Back in 2001, when September 11th happened, he was serving a mission in Japan. And that's when he first heard about it, and he decided that's the career he wanted to do, is be a firefighter. So as soon as he came back from the mission, he started working towards that goal, did 3 seasons fighting wildland fire. I think you're already predisposed to it because you're a 3rd-generation firefighter, actually, right, in your family. So anyways, as soon as he came back, started in the wildland and hired with us back in 2005. And I think, actually, Mayor, you leaving is what gave him the opening to get the position. So, yes. So a special thanks, I'm sure, going on there. You know...
It happened with Mayor, too.
You know, yes, in some ways, I'm one of the supervisors for Steve, but I'm also a peer because Steve, in addition to being a captain here at Murray Fire, is also the chief for the City of Santaquin Fire Department. So a pretty impressive guy right here. In addition to on his mission and learning and speaking Japanese, something unique is Steve also plays the bagpipes. So I'm sure you have seen it at many firefighting and police events, and especially some of the more somber events, the funerals. But Steve is one of the bagpipers playing. And he's also a teacher at UVU for the paramedic program. So pretty impressive guy. But the reason I really want to recognize him today is, as many as you know, especially this summer, with California having all the wildfires, Murray City was able to send some people to that deployment, and we also sent people to 2 other deployments this year. And when you send someone on those, the amount of paperwork that goes into, well, first determining who's going to go, what equipment's going to go, all the crew tickets, fuel receipt, lodging receipts, and then getting all those compiled in a way to get the reimbursement so the state will accept them is truly an enormous amount of work. And we had, to give you an example, over a couple $100,000 in reimbursement this year for our 3 deployments. And Steve is somebody who's very detailed and keeps track of that. And we just really appreciate the time he was taking, and so we could be a part of that and be successful. So thank you very much. Thanks. Steve, you want to take a minute and introduce your family that's here today?
Council Mayor, thanks a lot for the recognition. It's really special, and thanks. So, super embarrassed. Sorry. My wife Michelle is here with our 2 girls, Mackenzie and Emma. Our boys are at Scouts tonight, but they made the trip, and glad to have them here. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. And as always, you don't have to stay. Run far, run fast, really.
That's right.
But thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, another fun one. Swearing of we like swearing in new police officers, and so the next item on the agenda is to swear in Murray City Police Officer Eric Capes. I met Aaron out in the hall. Welcome, Chief. I guess you both need to come forward, and Jennifer will be doing the swearing in. So,
Yeah, we're excited. This fills our ranks. I know we've done really well in our hires lately. We've taken our time, and these are times that try men's souls, to quote someone from 200 years ago, and that there are still people who are willing to come to work and do this job. This is, I thank you for what you said earlier. These are hard times, and it takes special people, and I'm just glad that there's young special people that can come and pick up where some of us old guys can't quite measure up anymore. And we're really excited to have Aaron with us. He comes from the Highway Patrol, so he comes with experience. He's got 6 years? Yes. 6 years experience with the Highway Patrol. I think probably the thing that pushed him over the edge, he's bringing some expertise that we might have to tap into, is that he spent the last couple of years working in Operation Rio Grande, so he's seen a lot. So yeah. No, we're excited to have him and welcome him into our with us here in Murray City. So I'd like to do the swearing in.
I, Aaron Capes, do solemnly swear to support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah, and perform the duties of my office as a Murray City Police Officer with fidelity.
I'd like to have you introduce your family and friends that are here with you. And
this is my wife, Charlie, for 13 years. 13 years. I have a son. His name's James. He's just turned 8. And then Isaac, my youngest. I also have my father-in-law and mother-in-law, Ted and Ann, who just do the best to take care of us and my boys. And my brother-in-law and Cammie and my nephew Titan, so they're all here to support me. So.
Great.
Aaron, I just want to welcome you. I just want to welcome you to the Murray family. We really do appreciate your service and for being part of us.
I thank you, and that's definitely why I chose Murray. You guys definitely are one of the best cities, and it's all a family here, of course.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Absolutely.
I know Councilmember Brass was not really kidding when he said run far, run fast, and I know you probably won't be here for the rest of the meeting, so I did want to take just a minute while the officers are here, all of them, to note that tomorrow, January 9th, is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I don't know how many people even realize that, but so if you see an officer tomorrow, I was going to say buy him a donut, but I don't know what I should say. But we really do appreciate the officers and Officer Capes. Welcome to Murray. It is a great city. We're happy to have you here, and appreciate your willingness to serve and to put your life on the line for us and for all the officers. We certainly appreciate you. So, thank you.
Definitely, thank you. And again, if your family would like to leave, we will not be offended. But thank you all for coming again. That's one of the great things. This is the support from family and from other officers and firefighters. And as they file out, next item is citizen comments. Now, we do have a public hearing scheduled for a zone change. If you're here to make a comment for the public hearing, please wait. There'll be an opportunity to do that shortly. This is for citizen comments. If there's any citizens that have concerns or issues that they want to bring to the attention of the council, now is the time to do that. We ask that you step to the microphone, state your name and your city of residence, which obviously will likely be Murray, and know that we cannot act on that tonight, but if you have something you need to bring to us, now is the time. Would anybody like to make a comment?
Hi, my name's Jasmine Walton. I am with NeighborWorks Salt Lake, our Murray location here. I came to invite you all to our open house that we'll be having on February 20th. So we would love for you all you council members and mayor, to come down, and residents to come down and see what NeighborWorks is up to, how we can help you, what we can do to help improve the neighborhoods here in Murray. That's what we're doing. And we have flyers too that we can pass out at the end if you're interested in the open house.
That'd be great. NeighborWorks is a great program for the citizens of Murray. And Janet, would you put that on our calendar? Because that's a good event to attend. Would anyone else like to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. We'll now go to the consent agenda. We have 5 items on that agenda. I'll read them off. Mayor, you can introduce the people who are here. I would ask that we act on the entire agenda in between. So if there's no objection, I'll read the list and then we'll turn it. Okay, first item is to consider confirmation of the mayor's appointment of Peter L. Kling to the Murray Arts Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire January 15th, 2022. Consider confirmation of the mayor's reappointment of Dana Dimitrich to Murray Parks and Recreation Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire January 1st, 2022. Confirmation of the mayor's reappointment of Jeffrey A. Beal to the Murray Parks and Recreation Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire January 1, 2022. Consider confirmation of the mayor's appointment of Max Derrick to the Murray Senior Recreation Center Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire February 1, 2022. And finally, consider the mayor's appointment of Sandra Jones to the Murray Senior Recreation Center Advisory Board to fulfill an unexpired term ending February 1 of 2021. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda, and then Mayor, you can introduce the ones who are here.
I'll make a motion to adopt the consent agenda as read.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Jennifer, if you would call the roll.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mayor.
Thank you. As we point out very often, we so much appreciate the volunteers that serve in this city and all of our boards and commissions. And we have 5 of them here, or we have 5 reappointments. Was Peter here? Oh, I was looking right over the top of you. Would you stand for just a second? Peter Kling is, if you had a chance to look at his resume, I think we're probably the only, we may be the only arts advisory board in Utah with someone who has quite the resume that he has, and I'm most impressed with his work on the Pepsi Ray Charles commercial. You got the right one, JB. Is that close? Okay. So, Peter, thank you. Okay. Thank you for your willingness to serve.
You still want to serve after that, Peter?
That was a long time ago. So he will be taking the spot that was previously held by Lori Stedman. Dana Dimitri, are you here? Oh, there you are behind the. Okay. Hiding behind. This is a reappointment, so we appreciate your willingness to serve again. So thank you, and thank you for being here tonight. Jeff Beal, I saw Jeff here. This is a reappointment again to the Parks and Recreation, or excuse me, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. We see his son up and down the halls of City Hall here in his uniform, one of our cadets. So anyway, Jeff, thank you again for serving. I saw Max Derrick in the back here. Max is a new appointment to our senior citizen, our Senior Recreation Center Advisory Board. And Matt, the thing I like about our volunteers on the board, and Max is no exception, is they have a lot of fun, and they enjoy what they do, and part of that is, a great part of it is because of Trish and her leadership down there. But so Max will be serving to replace Rod Young, whose term has expired. So thank you for your willingness to serve, and we had a great conversation with Max the other day. Delightful person. And then finally, Sandra Jones is not here this evening. She will also be serving on the Senior Recreation Center Advisory Board to fill the unexpired term of Connie Gardner, who resigned. So again, thank you, all of you, for your willingness to serve.
You say 2022, and it feels like that's another 50 years out. I mean, we kept saying 2022. I think that's an error. Well, that's correct. That's not very far out, is it?
No, not at all. And Peter's in my district. He's kind of a neighbor, lives pretty close. He's been contacting me regularly, wanting to be involved, and I'm glad we were able to find a spot and you'll do well. So, but thank you all for your willingness to serve.
Yes.
I started. Mr. Chair, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just a comment. We have constantly in the mayor's office residents who contact us and say, "I want to be involved," and we're saying, you know what, we'll keep your name as soon as we have an opening. We'll contact you, and I think that says a lot about our community.
It does.
It's good that you contact them on our behalf. I remember I wanted to serve. I couldn't get SNAR to appoint me to anything, so I ran for city council.
That's one way to do it.
Keep appointing them, okay?
I had the opposite. I got appointed to planning and zoning, and then I didn't learn my lesson. I ran for city council. But these boards are a great way to get to know the city and get started. So, and I agree with the mayor on the recreation center. I retired this year, and immediately signed up for senior golf league. And if you play golf, that is a great league. I mean, they're serious. It travels. Saratoga. We went up to Morgan and played some really good golf courses. I'm telling you, some of those seniors, I think they're taking steroids, because I played against a guy and he goes, "Yeah, I had my shoulder replaced," and he gets up and just drills the golf ball. I'm going, I think I'm going to get mine replaced if I can hit a golf ball like that. So we have our volunteers do a great job. So thank you all. Moving on, as I said, we've got a public hearing. The public hearing is to consider an ordinance relating to land use that amends the zoning map for the property located at 5668 South Bullion Street, Murray City, Utah, from A1 Agricultural Zoning District to R18 Single Family. Jim McNulty will do the presentation for the city, and I know the applicant, Anton Rizak, is here. And if you'd like to say something after Mr. McNulty's presentation, we'll give you a chance to do that also. Jim.
Thanks, Mr. Brass. So just a little bit of information about the property. It's currently zoned agricultural. The applicant's proposing to rezone it to R18. The property size is just under 2 acres. They would like to do a single-family subdivision on this property. This is the area in question. You can see it's on Aaron Park Circle. We do have an existing house and some outbuildings on the site currently. There's also a property or a home that fronts off of Bullion directly to the east, but we're looking at the property that specifically that has the frontage on Aaron Park Circle here. This is our zoning map showing the current zone of the property being in the A1 or agricultural zone. Again, the applicant is petitioning the city to consider an R18 zone. This is our general plan land use map that was adopted in 2017, showing low density residential for the property in question. Again, this application would be compliant with the general plan land use map, which shows it, or which would allow for the R18 zone that the applicant is proposing. We have some pictures of the site that we've looked at previously off of Aaron Park Circle, looking south and southeast and southwest across the property. And then we have some other pictures here where you can see some of the outbuildings and some fencing that I believe will be removed in favor of new homes being platted and placed on the property. It's our understanding they'd be looking at approximately 3 new single-family lots. And then as far as the recommendation, this was heard by the Planning Commission on November 1st of 2018 after a public hearing and staff recommendation to approve the rezoning request. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the rezoning to the City Council, which you're considering tonight, and staff would recommend that you approve that rezoning as well. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer those, and I believe the applicant's here as well.
So we're talking how many? Three?
My understanding, and we can ask for clarification, but it would be they have the frontage of property to do 3 new lots on Aaron
3
Park
lots
Circle.
is all.
3 new single-family
I
homes.
thought it'd be more than that.
Well, there are 2 homes on the property.
That's right.
There's one and then
Yeah.
another one off of
Just down the
Bullion.
street
So
from me.
there are a
Yeah.
few there. So.
Any other questions for Jim? Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.
Mr. Rezak, would you like to say anything? You don't have to. Okay.
That's good.
All right, and then what we'll do is we're going to open this up for public comment. We do ask for public comment for these hearings that you fill out a public comment form. You don't have to do that before you speak, but we do need that form filled out as a matter of record so we can get your name on the record. And then step to the microphone. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes and state your name and address. Would anybody care to speak to this?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a
One more time. Okay, seeing that there are no public comments, I'll close the public hearing portion of this and take it to the council for comments or deliberation or a motion.
If there are no comments or questions, I will make a motion. This is in my district, and I know the property well. It's an excellent use of the zoning for that area, R18. So I make a motion that we approve an ordinance relating to land use, which amends the zoning map for the property located at 5668 South Bullion Street, Murray City, Utah, from the A1 Agricultural Zoning District to the R18 Single Family Low Density Residential Zoning District.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Jennifer, if you would please call the roll.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Congratulations. All right. Now we're going on to new business items. First item is to elect a chair and a vice chair for the City Council for the calendar year 2019. As soon as I find the proper sheet, I'll open it up for nominations. Nominations do not require seconds, so if we get a name, it's a nomination. And we'll do that first for council chair. So I will accept a nomination for the office of council chair at this time.
I'll nominate Dave Naponsky.
Okay, we have a nomination for Dave Naponsky. Are there further nominations for council chair? Okay, seeing none, then I will ask Jennifer if you would call the roll for Dave Naponsky, council chair.
Aye.
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 Aye. Congratulations, Dave.
Thank you.
Now we'll do this for vice chair, and again, same rules. I will accept nominations for council vice chair.
I'll nominate Dale Cox for vice chair.
I'll second that.
Okay, again, we don't need a second, but I'll accept Dale Cox as a nomination. Do we have further nominations? Okay, again, seeing none, Jennifer, if you'd call the roll for Dale Cox as vice chair.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, I need to keep up with myself here. Now we've got the election chair and vice chair for Budget and Finance Committee for 2019. Again, I will now accept a nomination for Budget Chair for the Finance Committee.
I'd like to nominate Brett Hales.
And I would.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We have Brett Hales has been nominated. Are there further nominations?
Yes, I would like to nominate Diane Turner. But that was nice of you, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Brett Hales and Diane Turner nominated. Are there any further nominations? I think we all have ballots, so if you'll, we will now put this to a vote. If you'll write the name of the person you're voting for, and then we'll pass that. Fold them, please, and pass it on to Jennifer. We will let you do the tallying. We'll pause for a brief musical interlude without the music. Or at least we could play the Jeopardy theme, right?
Really? Wow.
Dodge that bullet. Okay, then we will now see if we can't throw Brett under the bus again. Excuse me. I will take nominations for the office of Vice Chair for the Murray City Budget and Finance Committee.
Then I'll nominate Brett Hales for Vice Chair of the Murray City Budget and Finance Committee.
Okay, we have nomination for Brett Hales. Are there any other nominations? All right, seeing none. Jennifer, if you'd call the roll for the office of Vice Chair for Brett Hales nominated.
Aye.
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 Aye. All right. Thank you all, and congratulations or commiserations to the winners. Number 3 is to consider a resolution approving the mayor's appointment of representatives to boards of local entities. Mayor Camp, I'm going to let you handle that completely.
Okay, thank you. What we are proposing is that Blaine Hackey remain the city's representative of the UAMPS board, with Greg Ballon as the alternate. Also, Councilmember Brass has agreed and is willing to remain the representative of Central Valley Water Reclamation Facility Board, and Danny Astle as the alternate. Doug Hill will be the city's representative to the Salt Lake Valley Emergency Communications Center Board. With me, I'll be the alternate. Number 4, Russ Kakala will be the city's representative to the Transjordan Cities Board, with Danny Astle as alternate, and that's no change on that. And then Mayor Blaircamp is the city's representative to the Utopia Board, with Denise Steck as the alternate. Denise will also remain as the UIA board member, and I will remain as the alternate on that board. Again, Councilmember Brass will remain and is willing to stay with the Wasatch Front Waste and Recycling District Board. I'm not sure why we don't have an alternate on that.
They don't do alternates. The position is a 4-year commitment, and this will be my 4th year. So
okay, all right.
We'll have to talk about the future, I guess.
Okay. Doug Hill will remain as the, I'm sorry, I skipped number 8. Blaine Hackey is the city's representative to the IPA board, with Greg Ballon as the alternate representative. Again, that's no change there. Doug Hill will still be the city's representative to the Metro Fire Agency Board. Jim McNulty as the city's representative to the NeighborWorks Salt Lake Board. That's a new appointment. And Jennifer Kennedy will remain as the city's representative to the CAP, Community Action Program Board. And this is new since last year. I've been appointed as the city's representative to the Jordan River Commission, with Kim Sorensen as the alternate and doing all the heavy lifting. So,
thanks, Mayor. Any questions for the mayor on these? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution as has been previously stated.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Jennifer, please.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right, next item is consider a resolution ratifying the creation of an information technology department database system analyst position. Rob White, you get the duty.
Yes, recently we had our current position deployed for a year, and at this junction it is really critical that we have a second programmer in place to assist with the conversion that's coming up for the utility billing system, and also to have backup. It's real important. We're down to one person, and so we just feel that this position is really important to get approved and by you. Is there any questions, you guys?
Any questions for Rob? We talked about this at a committee of the whole. With our software conversion, it is critical. So if there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to adopt a resolution. Anybody?
I'll make a motion that we adopt a resolution ratifying the creation of an information technology department database system analyst position.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second. If you call the roll, Jennifer, please.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And finally, I think.
Thank you.
No, not quite finally, but sort of getting there.
Robert's sitting there going like, can I go?
It's the end of this page. Consider a resolution providing advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of Melinda Greenwood as the city's Community and Economic Development Department Director. We met Melinda in our committee of the whole meeting just a few minutes ago. And Mayor, if you want to add anything.
I was just going to mention that you had the opportunity to meet Melinda and to ask her questions. I hope you were as impressed with her as I have been, and would ask for your approval of her appointment.
Any other questions or comments? Then I would entertain a resolution approving the mayor's appointment of Melinda Greenwood.
I would make a resolution to support the mayor's appointment of Melinda Greenwood at the city's community and as the city's Community and Economic Development Department Director.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Jennifer, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Welcome to the family. And now Jennifer
Welcome,
Kennedy will do the oath of office.
Well, I am just thrilled to be joining the Murray City family and look forward to learning all things Murray and getting to know the community, the employees, and the mayor and council, and just looking forward to getting in and doing a good job.
Melinda, I loved your honesty when, I don't know if it was Diane that talked about the RDA, and you says, nope, but I'm going to learn it and get to know it. And then remind me of your husband's name.
I should have introduced
That's
my
okay.
husband. Sorry, my husband Eric here is with me tonight.
And when you were up there talking, his legs were going. Not here in the COW.
He's the one that wants to run far and fast.
I could tell when you said it. I thought he is. It was nice. Anyway, we're excited to have you.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Again, welcome.
Yes, welcome. Thank you. Okay. Item number 6 is to consider an ordinance amending sections 1508-010, 1508-020, 1508-030 of the Murray City Municipal Code related to building permit fees. I got Jim and it says Bryant, but I guess GL's going to handle it.
Just me this evening.
Just
if there's
you.
Additional questions, but
hit it.
The council will remember we had a committee of the whole discussion on December 11th, specific to this item, looking at making some changes to the city code. Title specifically, like you said, 1508-010, 1508-020, and 1508-030. Our building official, Steve Reed, was in attendance that night. Bryant Farnsworth was there, who helped draft this, and myself, to answer your questions that evening. I can entertain other questions if you have those, but I think we had a pretty good conversation and discussion that particular evening as to why this needed to be done and to amend our code and kind of help streamline things in the building department, especially with our new Munis system and other things that we've been doing in the last year. So,
any questions for Jim?
Not a question, just a statement. I think it's going to be a positive change, so I'm really glad that you were able to do that.
Thank you. Thanks.
Anything else? I would entertain a motion.
All right. I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance amending sections 15.08.010, 15.08.020, and 15.08.030 of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to building permit fees.
I'll second that.
All right, got a motion and a second. Jennifer?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And lastly, consider a resolution approving a cooperative agreement between Murray City Corporation and the Utah Division of Forestry, Fire, and State Lands to provide funding for law enforcement patrols along the Jordan River. Chief?
This is in relation to some money that was allocated by the state last year. This will allow us to do more than what we've been doing. This is a good thing for us. They'll pay us up to $25,000 a year to increase our patrols, do enforcement along the Jordan River, and this helps with our pathways and the things we have down on the parkway. That we're already doing a lot of work down there, but we know that there's been some things that have caused a lot more work down along the rivers, and that's where the state is pushing this money down. So what this will allow us to pay overtime for additional patrols in the areas, and making sure that Murray's section of the Jordan River Parkway remains the showcase that it is.
Yep. Like it.
Any questions?
Yes.
Go ahead. Well, let's do the motion.
I'm just wondering, you said up to $25,000. What does that mean?
That means no more than $25,000.
Okay, but are we required?
So that's the top. So whatever we use up to $25,000, it's reimbursable. So they're not giving us $25,000, but whatever work we do, they have a reporting system that we report back, and they will reimburse us a maximum of $25,000 a year.
And it's mainly for overtime, is that?
Yes, whatever we use above and beyond to get the work done, and it is for overtime. Yes.
Great, thank you.
Not supplanting stuff that we're already using.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion.
Perfect.
I'll move that we adopt a resolution approving a cooperative agreement between Murray City Corporation, the city, and the Utah Division of Forestry, Fire, and State Lands, DFFSL, sorry, I paused, to provide funding for law enforcement patrols along the Jordan River.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Jennifer?
Aye.
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 Aye. And last, Mayor's report. Mayor?
Thank you. Just a couple of items tonight. Just wanted to comment that our new City Hall project and process is progressing well. The selection committee has chosen GSBS Architects for the architectural firm, and Leighton Construction is the construction manager, so we're excited to get going on that. Monday, January 21st is Martin Luther King Day. I invite anyone to join us at the Murray High School that evening. The murals that you've seen and heard about that have been done for the schools, for the elementary schools, will be unveiled there at 6:30, and then the concert, the annual concert that the high school does for Martin Luther King Day will begin at 7. So I think you'll be impressed by the creativity of the murals. I invite you to come out for that. Also, I learned today that we will be participating again this year in the Rain Barrel program. We've committed to at least 200 rain barrels. We believe that we'll probably have more than that. Again, that's been a very, very popular program, and more details will follow. But believe that'll come out sometime around April. So, and that's it for this evening. If you have any questions.
Any questions for the mayor? Then we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.